welcome back everyone, welcome back, oh my god, welcome back everyone, welcome back to another broadcast here on the CranKy Ducklings. I'm of course your host, Live VIP. With me I'm joined by these amazing two players and the people in chat and my plushies as well. Welcome to a special best of 7 StarCraft Evolution show match between ReBellioN and HonMonO. Let's go. Let us go, Papi. Again, welcome to StarCraft Evolution. This is a very different kind of game mode. This is a blending of Brood War and StarCraft 2. If you haven't seen this before, then you're in for a treat. We've been covering StarCraft Evolution for quite some time now, since what, like maybe halfway through last year. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun seeing the growth, the evolution of the game mode of the mod. It's definitely a breath of fresh air, and always something that we do love to jump into as well. In regards to this show match, shout out to CranKy. CranKy, of course, he's the main kind of Spanish caster out there right now. He's kind of like the Wardy or the loco equivalent of, or in Spanish, I should say, and he has been not just casting a lot, but also hosting a lot of show matches recently as well. We've been covering the CranKy Pro series here on the channel, and now covering this StarCraft Evolution mod as well, which he also did facilitate for. So big shout to CranKy, big shout to CranKy, papi, near and dear to our hearts, el hermoso, papi, el hermoso, as we are jumping into our best of 7. Now, this broadcast is only the best of 7, and I'll be honest, HonMonO is an animal. HonMonO is hyper aggressive, and this series most likely is going to be a bit of a shorter one. After this event, we will be going over some viewer replays as well, just to make up for that, as we do have some viewer replays that have kind of stocked up and piled up over time. I said I've got like 1 or 2, so may as well go over them here after the broadcast as well. So that's the plan. That is going to be the plan. Here we go as we jump into game 1, as we jump into our best of 7. Game 1 on ley lines. Let's go. Let us go. Now, typically the format with StarCraft Evolution is that one player plays SC2, the other player plays Brood War, and then the loser picks which race they do want to play there on after. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player, the Red Protoss from South Korea. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And I've noticed that as well here. There's something about the mod, I don't know if you noticed, but the minerals here, and not just the minerals, but in general the color palette is like a little bit more brighter, or like more pastel. I don't know what it is, but it is a lighter tone of blue here with the minerals. So a little bit more like Brood War, if you will, as we do kick things off here with what looks to be a proxy. Okay, ReBellioN, I see you. Now, again, HonMonO, he is known for being hyper aggressive. He's known for being all in, or whether it's 1 base all in, whether it's 2 base all ins. HonMonO is always in the face of his Protoss opponents, which is why ReBellioN going for the proxy instead is a bold move. Bold move here by ReBellioN, as the gateways are being thrown down. We have 1 gate at home, we have 1 gateway across the map. So far, gases are being taken, but very light on the gas here, which means most likely just purely zealots. 3 gateways in total, so there's going to be 3 gates zealot here from ReBellioN. With that gas income, eventually, there we go, he can afford a cyber core, so cyber core is on the way to potentially reinforce with dragoons. Until then, probe does dip into the main. Does dip in, gets eyes on the economic opener. So single gas means a racks expand. Economic opener out of HonMonO, going for a faster CC on low ground. This is going to be ideal for ReBellioN. The goal here is to move out with the zealot to reinforce with dragoons to potentially force a cancel at that natural base and keep going, keep pushing into the main. Ooh, but we do see HonMonO playing safe. Okay, he does play safe. CC on the high ground, not on the low ground, so it's going to be safe for now. But what about the army? What about the defenses? This might still prove to be too much, as there we go. The dragoons are on the way. Second gas is being taken. We have the first zealot waddling across the map alongside those dragoons. Let's go. And I'm loving always the power walking. Let's go. Walking with purpose across the map. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, the models for units for the Brood War side of things are different than the models for SC2. Again, more in line with how things used to look back in Brood War, just as a heads up. As the proxies do continue, the zealot does head out. Dragoons have arrived, and we're waddling our way in. Making our way into the main base. Bunker is going to be done. Whew. A bunker. Oh, right. Oh, he scouted the proxy. My apologies. Did scout the proxy. Bunker is done. We have a second bunker on the way. But so far, the Dragoons are out of range of that bunker. And they're hoping to bust their way through. Deep under fire. Boys are being pulled. SVs, they can be targeted down. First Marine has arrived. Ooh, second bunker is... Oh my god, barely not within range. Never mind. Yeah, barely not. Which means the depot is going to go down. He's going to get one. He's going to get two. And from here, he's going for a robo. Okay, proxy robo. With the robo, he can make a shuttle. Potentially ferry into the main. Oh my god, as he does that forward. Dragoon takes... Oh no! Takes a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. Despite that, SCVs are going to be going down. And so far, the control here for ReBellioN, he does get out. Oh my god. One Dragoon does fall, but just the one. Breaks the... Oh no! Bit of miscontrol towards the end. 6 rounds too soon. 2 Dragoons fall. So far, HonMonO, he's holding. He's holding on, and his tank is on the way. A tank is going to be all he needs. And ReBellioN, things are looking a little bit more bleak for him. Oh. Doesn't quite get the Reaper. I mean, the shuttle will help ferry into the main base and can help avoid the tank fire. But the Reaper does escape. Does move out. ReBellioN still building up more Zealots, actually. As he's going for Dragoon range. Able to afford the Bay, which means we're going for the Reaver. There we go. Reaver drop on the way here for ReBellioN. Getting ready for that Reaver drop. Containing his opponent. HonMonO going to mech. Initially tanks for defense into Cyclone. Reaper does get across the map. Boys are being pulled. Good control so far here by HonMonO. Does control well. Safety Viking on the way. I mean, HonMonO, he scouts. He sees the Bay, which means he knows his robo. Another surround! Oh my god. Whew, does knock himself free. Does escape. Here we go. Here comes that Reaver job. Viking is still on the way. We do have that Cyclone though in position. Can I get the lock on? Oh, he can. Oh my god, massive shock going up. Oh, Jesus. One Dragoon goes down, and the Cyclone survives. Cyclone survives. With that, ReBellioN is going to be forced back. He cannot engage, not with a Viking and a Cyclone. And ReBellioN, he expands. Oh, we have a game. So ReBellioN, he cannot break the Terror player. He's forced to expand. And the goal now becomes to contain. To contain HonMonO on one base for as long as possible. Oh, playing with fire right now. Remember, there's a Viking. There's that Viking. Shot goes up. Oh no, it doesn't go off. And the shuttle going to go down. Can he unload in time? He can. Oh my god. Whew, barely does unload that Reaver. But the shuttle does fall. Again, ReBellioN, a little bit too greedy there. It was too greedy. Has to pull away. And eventually HonMonO is going to break out. So he really has to get, he has to get out of here. At least with the Reaver, I feel. The Dragoons, they can scout, of course. Sorry, they can kite, of course. Cyclone moves out. Behind this, we have the Citadel of Adun on the way alongside the Observatory for observers for charge. Or potentially Temple Archives. True. We can take up. But charge can be on the horizon. Dragoon range, of course, is complete. Tanks getting position. And there's a second factory. HonMonO, he is playing mech. He's meching it up. There's that charge, as I did mention. I say charge, Zealot legs, Zealot speed. Not quite the same as SC2 charge. StarCraft 1 had batteries too. Yeah, StarCraft 1 originally had the shield battery. Yep. It looked very different back in the day, but yeah, it was in SC1 first. Well, technically it was in Brood War first. I don't think it was in StarCraft 1, but it was in Brood War. Oh. That's where it originated. SC2 did take it from Brood War. Ooh. I mean, there is no shield battery overcharge, if you're curious about that. But are at least shield batteries. Meanwhile, Observer goes down. Nice catch. ReBellioN poking forward. Can he get behind that mineral line? Threatening the tanks. Oh! Oh my god, once again the shell. Looks like ReBellioN wasn't quite expecting Macfield to be done. But Macfield has been on for quite some time, and once again ReBellioN gets shut down. And the Cyclones, Pappy, they're cracked. Insane. So HonMonO here is looking to break out. I mean, now he's on 2 base economy. ReBellioN rebuilding that Reaver. Or building up a second Reaver, I should say. Oh, nice catch. Gets one of the Cyclones. Oh my god. Another Cyclone takes a shot. Scarab shot does go off. Third base on the way. Again, ReBellioN, as he contains, his intention isn't really to break this position, is to mass expand. Take more bases, get the greater economy, build up his army as well. Zell legs are done. And again, hoping to contain his opponent. So HonMonO does sneak out. Going for a drop. Now, this is where the immobility of Brood War really comes into play and is really scary here. For those that are curious, if you're not familiar with Brood War Protoss, there's no recall, right? There's no recall back home, and there is no warping mechanic either. So because of that, you have to make units manually one at a time, kind of like a Rax, right? Kind of like a barracks instead. So drop play can be very effective, as you cannot warp in reactively, you cannot recall, you need units in position, and right now ReBellioN is out of position. It does have one reinforcing Dragoon. Pylons under fire. There we go. We have, thankfully, 2 more Dragoons in position, and with that, ReBellioN, he will defend and lock down one of the Cyclones. Not bad. Cyclone does fall. ReBellioN holds. ReBellioN does hold on, but that's also why like Doom drops and drop play in general can be much more deadly here against Brood War Protoss. So ReBellioN now is that much more wary. Oh, drop into the third. Drops into the third base. Dragoons need to respond. Oh, they shut down the medevac. And they trade with the Cyclone. Cyclone gets 2 workers and a Dragoon. Also 2 Cyclones and a medevac. It's a better trade for ReBellioN, bleeding out another Dragoon. Behind this, Storm is on the way. We're bringing a High Templar. Likewise, Storm alongside it. Do love to see it. Yeah, the Symbol Archives is now done. And Storm does hit different here. we love the Brood War storms. I mean, in general, like, spell effects in Brood War are much more powerful. And much more visually just appealing. It's crazy. We'll get there. ReBellioN is taking his 4th. Oh! Once again, HonMonO is still trying to break out, and the lock-ons are brutal here. It takes out 1, 2, 3 Dragoons. Is moving forward. Behind this, third CC is on the way. HonMonO, he is expanding. Not again. Not again! Oh my god. Yeah, brutal Reaver shots though. The Scarab shots, oh my god, they pull up, they shut down the Hellions. The Hellions do fall, Cyclones as well. There's 3 Cyclones left. At the cost of 1 Reaver, but there's 1 left. 1 remains. Oh, it's gonna be shut down. Yeah, they're so slow. They're so immobile. With that, no more splash damage. HonMonO, he breaks free from his contain. Now he can finally expand. But as we bleed out all the Reavers, we replace them with High Templar. Again, the High Templar are building up. They're gathering energy as we speak. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think Storm is going to be as effective against Battle Mech as Reavers are. I mean, we saw how effective the Scarab shots were on the Hellions and Cyclones. Here, Storm is going to be more of a zoning tool more than anything. As HonMonO is going to be establishing his 3rd. Behind this ReBellioN, he is reinforcing. Behind this, we have a Stargate on the way. Potential Sky Toss. Into Carrier. Ooh, as the tank shots are brutal. We get 1. We get 1 Dragoon and some Zealots. Once again, better trades here for HonMonO. Storm will zone. There's something about that storm effect, you know? It's it just hits different, mate. Gotta respect the storms. So we'll zone. Forcing HonMonO back. Here we go. We have the Arbitral Tribunal. Okay, we're going for Arbiters. Now, Arbiters, especially against mech, are going to be quite useful. They have their own stasis. Not quite like the stasis trap that you're used to in SE2, but a stasis field instead. Is more of an AoE, does entrap the units, does last a long time as well. Likewise, recall is also going to be available. So technically there is recall in Brood War, but not a base recall, a unit recall with the Arbiter. Similar to how the Mothership works, where you recall to the unit. So Arbiters are going to be on the way. There's that stasis field that is being researched. There's the first Arbiter as well. And unlike the Mothership, Arbiters you can mass them, so you can make multiple Arbiters. For all those stasis fields. And yo, we have a game. Let's go. HonMonO clearing up the proxy, building up towards a 4th CC. Scans does confirm the Arbiter Tribunal. Because that it's much more obvious what's being built. I mean, he can see what's being researched anyway. But it's now more clear that, of course, Arbiters are in production. That is something about Brutal Protoss, is that a lot of these buildings are very specific, so you know exactly what your opponent's up to by scouting. Cyclone does go down. That trades up. Takes down 3-4 Cyclones. Not a bad trade here for ReBellioN. At the same time, oh, Helium Runback comes in! And the probes are outlining up. They're getting roasted. 5 workers go down. Oh my god. 5 probes do full. Cannons, they did their job. The damage was still done. But again, like, if you scout this, like, you get eyes on the Citadel, for example, for charge. You get eyes on the Observatory for observers. Like, Arbitral Tribunal for Arbiters. Scouting is a little bit more obvious. So we have the storm to zone away. Yo, he wants that High Templar. Oh! Oh my god. Does get it. Very nice snipe there from HonMonO. Does get the High Templar. HonMonO going to be rotating. Does rotate to get these locals. Yeah, so brutal here. They get, oh my god, so many. Oh! Dragoons for free. That's why zoning is so important. Those storms. To make sure HonMonO backs up. Meanwhile, the Arbiter has arrived. Likewise, there's the first scan. Oh. Jesus. the power of the Cyclone. Oh my god. It's crazy. So much free damage. Forcing rid of friendly fire. Rotating his way in. Oof. Takes out the Widow Mines. Does move forward. And we do have that stasis trap. The stasis field even. There we go. The instant stasis. Catches out one of the tanks. Ooh, but the Arbiter, I believe there's a lock on. And the Arbiter, it is going to go down. But at the same time, he brings out the CC. Oh my god. Oh, the storms. He stands in the storms. The punish is real. The CC goes down. It was a trade. But more importantly, the 4th base has fallen, keeping HonMonO contained on a 3-base economy. Arbiter did go down. Oh. The mine shots are brutal. Jesus. Taking down more Dragoons. ReBellioN, he rotates. HonMonO, he spots a rotation. Does spot it. Backup Arbiter has arrived. As currently there's not enough NG for stasis. Not yet. Tanks move forward. Without that stasis, I mean, we cannot push in. Let's get a nice zoning storm. Ooh, but another High Templar falls. Yeah, HonMonO has just been trading so efficiently here. Whenever they trade, Dragoons, High Templar, Arbiters are going down. For mainly Cyclones. Like, the tank count has been left for the most part untouched. For the most part. forward. Ooh. Takes down 5 workers. Still just non-stop making Cyclone. There's no finesse here, just pure Cyclone. Let's go. Anyway, here comes that Arbiter, and we have that recall. We have the recall available. HonMonO, he notices, he's racing back home. The Arbiter, oh no! On a move. And there's that recall. Oh, I believe recalled in the dead space, so it doesn't quite work out there. Oh, either that or did recall the wrong location. So never mind. Didn't quite work out. ReBellioN rotating towards the south side instead. I do love that they're using, that was like almost a vortex effect, if I'm not mistaken. They're pushing forward. Oh no! The Arbiter is barely not going to go down. Takes a lot of hits though. Takes a lot of damage. Takes a risk of caught. Deals with the tank line. The other side. Oh no! Oh my god! It's brutal. Alas, Arbiter is being rebuilt, and the second Stargate's on the way. At this point, especially with these siege lines, I would recommend Skytoss. I'm referring to carrier production. But right now, it's just purely ground-based, and we're still making more Arbiters. So ReBellioN, he's committing to a ground-based army, not transitioning out. At least not yet. Oh, catching out the Cyclones. Nice flank. Yeah, very nice flank. A lot of Cyclones do fall. Oh my god. So do the Dragoons though. ReBellion's still enjoying a greater economy. HonMonO now taking another expansion towards the center. I'm curious if how brutal carriers would deal with mass Cyclone. Like, it's possible that's also a deterrent. Like, the Cyclones have been very effective so far. Likewise, they're also a little more mobile. Now ReBellioN is stuck with a ground army. I do believe, though, as we build up the Arbiter count, especially with stasis fields, like, they almost work the same way as blinding clouds, right? Where we could try to break through a line of tanks. But, we have to have some delicate micro with that Arbiter. Cannot throw it away. We're now going to be committing in, so it's stasis. There it is. Catching 2 so far. 2 tanks get caught. Planetary goes down. And ReBellioN backs off. Does retreat from here. Ooh, that was 5 High Templar going down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that was an expensive trade for ReBellioN. Did lose all the High Templar, except for 1. And I'll be honest, I'm not too convinced here by the Mass Dragoon army. Not gonna lie. I think if there were maybe less Dragoons and more Zealots with this kind of style, there'd be more dive potential, but I mean, maybe. At least in my mind, that'd be the case for SC2 charge lots, but these speed lots may be less viable, as it does take them longer to close that distance. So let's move forward. I'm just going to be forced back. The Dragoons once again trying to gain ground, but there's a line of, what, 6 tanks behind this? This is 1. Just the one the turret says so, no way. Yeah, these turret lines are so crucial here for HonMonO. Like, as we're seeing, like, the Arbiters, they cannot get close. This is something that I should point out as well, is that the cast range of the stasis field is quite short, as you can see. Like, to get into the back line, it takes a little more effort. Oh my god. The tank shuts up! Oh, jeez, the army is so low. High Templar going down as well. Yeah, ReBellioN just getting bullied at this point. He cannot break these siege lines. Not like this. Not like this, man. HonMonO meching it up here. We do have Arbiters. They do break their way through though. There we go. Finally some good stasis traps. They shut down most of the tanks. Dragoons, they can start a step forward. There's one tank left behind this. There's one tank in the back line. Can he get there? He's trying to. And there we go. The final tank does fall. With that, he surrounds. He collapses on the army. The planetary is still dishing out so much damage though. And the planetary does hold. Tanks, I mean, the stasis field runs out. Yeah, no more high ground vision. That was a decent fight from ReBellioN, but didn't quite break the expansion. If he got the base, then that'd be worth it. But the planetary survives. Tanks are being rebuilt. Oh my gosh. The mines are so brutal. Every time. Every time. HonMonO just pulling the economy here. I do feel like, especially against this kind of army, like the Arbiter recall would have to be the play. There are some turrets in the main base and some turrets here at the natural, but it does seem like there is a way in. I mean, we can see it, especially towards the south side. There's no turrets here behind this mineral line. Likewise, no turrets here behind the main base as well. So there would be potential for a recall into the main on top of the production. But recalls are something that we just haven't used yet. We attempted it earlier. A failed attempt. But without recalls, like, you have to try to break through this. And it's out, guys. It's just not working. It's not happening. ReBellioN rotating over, and again we have a line of turrets and of course widow mines here as well. Not going to be easy to break through. We'll attempt to. Nice control. Takes out the widow mines. Go for the turrets. Likewise, here come the stasis fields. Does get one good stasis. Not quite another. There's two tanks behind this. Sorry, three tanks behind this. The army could try to break through, but again, the planetary stands strong. Another base is on the way, and alas, really, he can't allow this base to get up and running. He has to move in. Has to push forward. There we go. Denies the expansion. Nice storm. Storms, they trade well. Cannot push up the ramp. Oh my god. Goes through the storm. Jesus. Again, if the storms land, they do well here. We trade well. I'm loving the visual look of these Archons. Like, God, the nostalgia. In general, I appreciate the effort that the team put into making custom models for a lot of these units instead of just reusing like SC2 models. I'm referring to the High Templar, for example, the Archon, the Zergling. Like, there are a lot of units that that technically have their SC2 counterpart, but they have made like custom. The Zeld, of course, true. They've made their own modifications. Oh my god. Hellions are being forced back. Not just that, buildings as well, like the Vespian gas geysers, all these simulators, the observatory, the shield battery, true. The cannons, I don't know if you noticed, but they are visually different than the S2 counterpart. Here we go. Really rotating once again. Investing into upgrades. Yo, I see +1 air attack. Skytoss? Yo, we're thinking about it. We're thinking about the Skytoss. HonMonO breaks through the initial cannon line. ReBellioN, a bit of a late response. Now moving in. Baits out the mine shots. Does bait them out. Looks like he was maybe hoping that the army would go further in so he could try to get a surround off, but alas, I'm not able to. Oh, High Templar! Gets two. Gets two High Templar as well. Brutal pickoffs. That's ReBellioN, he does rotate. Oh my god, oh, the tank shots, oh my god. The tanks, they are exposed though. Army dives in. Decent stasis fields. Catching the army out. Arbiters, they are going to be going down though. Yeah, they're going to be cleaned up. And the downside, of course, is that these stasis fields, it means that these tanks will survive. They will survive. They will be maintained. ReBellioN informants and supply. And there it is! The Sky Toss is coming. Making 5 carries at a time. We're done with the ground toss finally. It's been brutal trying to see ReBellioN try to break through these siege lines unsuccessfully so. But what he has done is he has denied another expansion. He's denied the 6th. At least until now. Has been denied that center base. ReBellioN, he does have a bank to work with. With that bank, of course, is investing into the Sky Toss. Taking more bases. Ooh, bleeds out some Dragoons though. And he has to keep up. Center expansion is going to go down. And ideally, ReBellioN does want to hide those carriers. It's one of those things where, yes, HonMonO, he's making mass Cyclone anyway, but if he was where the carriers, we'd be seeing potentially another Starport, mass Viking production, Thors as well. So ReBellioN is preserving that Skytos army. And while he does, HonMonO, he establishes the 6th expansion for the first time. So he will get he will be able to maintain his army, maintain his economy. As he was mining out. Here he's down to 4 patches, likewise down here as well. He was running out of resources, but now has a fresh mining base. That is something to consider. Carriers are going to be hitting with +2. +2 on the way. Likewise, armor or air armor as well. Tank lines are sieging. It's going to be a line of turrets. Now, there is going to be potential for the carriers to strike a base where the Cyclones are not, but for the most part, it looks like both armies are converging. And do we go with the stasis? We do. Oh my god, mass we stasis everything. Yo, ReBellioN, he's been holding back. Oh my god. Catches out the entire army. Sorry, the carrier's going to be moving in. The base goes down. And we can keep pushing. Clearing up the turrets while we can. And camping those Cyclones. Stasis is about to run out. Is about to run out. Storm 1 second too late. Regardless, the tank line does fall. And we do have another stasis. Another stasis is available. Oh, there it is. Takes out the tank. Planetary is within range. And another planetary is going to be falling. Yeah, the orbital and the planetary as well. A very nice attack here from ReBellioN. He does pop off. And he breaks through everything. There's no more Cyclones. There's barely any Cyclones left. And those are the safe strats we wanted, Papi. Back here. The best ones all game. One shot. It's all he needed. Breaks through the defensive line and HonMonO, he plummets in supply. He's losing everything. GG gets called. And ReBellioN takes game number 1. Let's go. GG. GG, well played. Are interceptors free? God no, God no. Just like in SE2, you have to build them, you have to support them, you have to maintain them. But GG, well played. ReBellioN does take the game. Whew, oh my god. And again, up until that moment, HonMonO, he was playing really well. He was playing really well. He was denying bases. He was taking better trades as well. He was slowly expanding, taking more bases. But it did seem like, unfortunately, specifically in that northern position, he wasn't ready with the turrets. He wasn't ready with his line of turrets. Because of that, he was vulnerable to those arbiters. And we saw mass stasis fields the best stasis fields of the game, to be honest. Like, up until that moment, we saw, like, oh, maybe, like, a couple of tanks caught here and there, like, maybe a cyclone here and there. Like, the stasis fields were lackluster up until that final fight. And then when it mattered most, we got him, Pappy. We got him. GG. GG, well played. ReBellioN turning it on in those final moments. And with that, does take the first game. And now we're jumping to game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Citadel. And I believe it's going to be HonMonO's choice here. Does he want to stick with SC2 Terran or switch to Brood War Terran? Let's go. Here we go. Sure, this will be quick. I mean, game 1, true, bodes well, but here we go. We are switching it up. Spawning the right-hand corner of Citadel, we have the red Terran player, the Brood War Terran. Oh, the Brood War Terran from South Korea, representing Team Hyper 1, it is HonMonO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player from South Korea, leading the series 1-0. Now rocking the SC2 Protoss race, it is ReBellioN. Here we go. That's where I set up. Too many tanks to deal with the carrier. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say that, unfortunately, again, there were a lot of cyclones, but they were shut down by the stasis fields. More importantly, as we were trying to emphasize, the mass carrier transition was a surprise, right? Remember, intentionally so, ReBellioN, he was hiding those carriers, he was preserving them, he was making sure that HonMonO was not aware of what was coming his way. We even mentioned at the time that if HonMonO was aware, we would be seeing a greater switch into anti-air, into Vikings, into Thors as well, to support those cyclones. Like, a big part of that was the fact that ReBellioN did kind of preserve that, did hide that, and did catch HonMonO with his pants down. In one fell swoop, baby. GG. GG, well played. Until then, we do see HonMonO, his natural base is going to be denied, going CC first. Oh my god! Takes down the probe, but does go CC first, but takes the unnatural natural. And welcome one and all to Citadel. Now, what's important here? Oh my god, he's crazy. This is bold. He's double expanding, double CC before the racks. That is insane. Now, this is a 4-player spawn map. Remember that. ReBellioN, he knows where he is. He's scouted horizontally immediately. In ReBellioN, he knows where his opponent is. He will recheck. He will check location. Will spot the CC first build, and ReBellioN can now punish the greed of HonMonO. HonMonO doesn't know. HonMonO hasn't scouted. ReBellioN could be top left, bottom right, bottom left. He could be anywhere. And I say that based on the speed of the scout, he can assume that it was a horizontal scout. True, because it was a much faster scout than normal. He can rule out diagonal spawn, and he can kind of bring it all together, piece it all together. As the CC is spotted behind this 3 racks follow-up. And ReBellioN will see if he can punish this. There we go. 2-gate. Okay. 2-gate opener before Nexus. Aggressive build here by ReBellioN. And the goal here is to move out and try to punish the greed of HonMonO. The goal is to punish. And I believe he can. Now, the CCs, they will finish up in time before the Stalkers arrive. True. So the CCs will not be delayed. But damage can still be done. Can he deny the bunker? Does he check the natural first? Yeah, proxy's on the way. ReBellioN, he knows, is now moving in. The bunker should not finish. And without that bunker, these vanilla Marines are going to struggle. There we go. The boys are being pulled. He needs that bunker. He needs that bunker to complete as quickly as possible. Second SCV goes down. Going for the Marine. Oof. Yeah, the Marine is going to be hunted down. Going for the second Marine as well. Just zoning the Marine away from the bunker itself. Oh my god. Gets the Marine. And he needs to jump into that bunker. Up. Can he get there? He can. Dives in the bunker. He jumps in. Whew. And with that, he will hold the natural. But what about the third? Force a lift. Yeah, force lift the third base back into the main. ReBellioN does confirm. And behind the stim is on the way. Stim has begun. It's on the academy. Building up more Marines. Building up more bio. Yo, the proxy shield. Proxy shield battery. Let's go. Shield battery's on the way. Warp gate is almost done. It's going to be 3 gates aggression here from ReBellioN. And HonMonO, can he hold with purely Marine? Remember, there's no factory, there's no tanks, no vultures. Scan reveals, it doesn't really reveal too much. Again, HonMonO, he did deduce the position here of ReBellioN. He has force fields. Ooh, does neither repair in the bunker. It's gonna fall. Yeah, nicely placed force fields out of ReBellioN. Denies any repairs. Boys are being pulled. SCVs are falling. Stim is done. Does stim in. Up. He stims in. But there's a shield battery. Shield battery's in position, and with that ReBellioN, he's gonna overwhelm. He's gonna shut HonMonO down. It's like, man, you want to go 3 CC before racks against me? You're crazy, papi. Oh my god. And he's not wrong. HonMonO is crazy. Oh my god. As HonMonO does have the high ground, but despite that, Pure Marine. ReBellioN will respect it. For those that are curious, firing up a ramp up into high ground does have a chance to miss. Here in StarCraft Evolution. Despite that, oh my god, he gets 2 Marines, and he gets past the ramp. Yeah, he gets past the ramp, has the high ground himself. Oh god. And again, this is one of the small little features that I actually appreciate about this map here, is that this small little ledge is actually so impactful. It's huge. And for ReBellioN to control this, yeah, he's forced to scan. Forced to scan his own ramp, his own natural. But say shade in, dives on the army. Yeah, and with that, he's gonna break through. He's gonna shut down the bio. Again, half the shots missing, the units on top of the ramp. Does break through. Boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and ReBellioN, he will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played ReBellioN, bringing the aggression to HonMonO in both Game 1 and in Game 2. And again, at Game 1, I mean, HonMonO, he made a game out of it. He survived, and I would say that HonMonO, he was even, you know, excelling in Game 1 until those final moments. Here in Game 2, HonMonO hyper greed, triple CC before racks is crazy. But I should emphasize, it's crazy, but it makes sense on a 4-player map, right? Like, in the context of the map itself, remember, there's a high chance that your opponent is going to be spawned further away from you, right? It's like the horizontal spawn is the closest spawn location to you. What are the chances that they get there instead of bottom left or bottom right instead, right? Likewise, what are the chances that they scout you ahead of time as well, that they're the first, that you're the first location that they do scout. So again, it's a bit of a gamble, but I would say it's a calculated risk, and you can get away with it on Citadel. Unfortunately, sometimes you gamble and you lose everything. It's he was gambling, papi. It was the gamba. The gamba was real. So with that, ReBellioN, he got fortunate where he insta-scouted his opponent, and he was able to react with a 2-gate opener. Remember, it was 2 gates before the expansion for ReBellioN, intentionally to be aggressive and to punish, and he was able to do so. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into game number 3. That leads us into Whispers of Gold. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game, and we'll see. HonMonO, it's up to him, and he's switching back. He's had enough. Is switching back here, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold. We have our blue Protoss player. We have a blue Protoss from South Korea, leading the series 2-0. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. I'll set up the names. Hold on. There, beautiful. And here we go. So HonMonO, he has chosen to go back to SE2. SE2 Terran for HonMonO, Brood War Protoss for ReBellioN. As from here, HonMonO, he's known for being hyper aggressive with his SE2, for going from 1 base all-ins, 2 base all-ins. So far this series, we have not seen that kind of aggression from him, not yet, but I feel like we're going to see it here. I feel like at this point, being down at 0-2, now is the time. Now is the time to shine. As ReBellioN is coming in with the Probe Scouts. We'll attempt to get eyes on his opponent. Does dip in, does tase. Yo, imagine if we could have like Brood War skins, like as just, you know, something you can apply to SE2, you know? Why do they never do that? So, Smurge, man, Smurge. One day. As for now, we do see HonMonO with a cheeky SCV. Going for a factory. This looks like proxy starports. I would imagine this is going to be a Hellion drop. So you go racks into reactor into factory, add-on swap for reactor. Oh, no, sorry. That is a tech lab. My apologies. I assumed it was just going to be an add-on swap into Hellion into proxy starport, but this is very different, actually. With that tech lab, we can go for early tank production. We will be going for the swap. Let's go. Do we go for the tank? Do we go for the cyclone? There we go. Cyclone production has begun. There's that proxy starport. Interesting. Now, I'm curious by a couple of things here. So this is not going to be a Hellion drop into the main. This could either be a cyclone drop, or this could be cyclone alongside Liberator. This could be for proxy Liberators going to the main base, and we could see HonMonO hit both locations at once. Cyclones in the natural, Liberator into the main. On the flip side, Jesus, Macfil Accelerator is going to be researched as well. No, never mind, he cancels. Did he see? ReBellioN, yep, he did see it researching. Okay, a bit of a fake out. Does pull off a fake out. Proxy Banshee, not Liberate. HonMonO, okay. I see you. Let's go. Going for proxy Banshee. One step further, this could have been BC with a fusion core, but last no fusion core. So is going for cloak Banshees and massing up cyclones. Okay, you have my attention. Behind this, we do have initially Dragoon production into Reaver drops. Okay, Reavers are on the way. Shield battery here at the natural. By scouting that research and tech lab, he would imagine it's going to be mass cyclone with Macfield. True. And the Reavers will help in that defense. But something important to bear in mind here is that you do have to jump through a couple of hoops here for detection. There it is. We have the observatory on the way. There will be detection. There will be an observer. But Dragoons are moving out. They run into the cyclones. Lockdown gets broken. ReBellioN does pull away. And thankfully, we should have an observer in time. Are we going to have the army in time, though? That's the question. I mentioned this earlier. Remember, there's no recall, and there's no instant warp-ins either. So ReBellioN has to be very careful here, as Banshees are backing up, and he's staying at home. Is staying home. Here comes the shuttle. Shuttle is on the way. Bit of a supply block there for HonMonO. Waiting for that CC. Double Banshee to the main base. Cloak is ready. Observer comes out in time. Where's the army? Oh. Yes, probes aren't going to be falling. Gets one so far. Just the one, though. It's going to be forced back. The Banshees are going to be forced back. So far, ReBellioN, he does hold, he does defend. Yo, we got Hyperflight, he's not stopping. Hyperflight Road is on the way, making a third Banshee. And if you invest this heavily into these upgrades, I imagine we're going to be seeing more than just 3. Yeah, 4th Banshee on the way. HonMonO, he's going to be committing. And honestly, this is a really nice way to abuse the immobility of Brood War Protoss. So far, we're trying to keep up. Banshees get spotted. They head towards the natural. ReBellioN tries to respond. Leading out 2 probes. Leads out 2 workers. Likewise, you see HonMonO massing up a greater army, rallying across that, pulling the boys. Let's go! Yeah, the boys are being pulled. He's got what? He's got 2 tanks. He has 2 cyclones. He has 4 banshees. The Reaver moves out across the map, which means it's not gonna be at home to defend. Barely he expands. He takes a 3rd base. Just going in for the mineral line, but does that matter? It doesn't. Because here comes HonMonO. And there's going to be the one Reaver to defend. Has to build up that Scarab. There's no Scarab currently yet. Tank volley's going off. And ReBellion's in trouble. He's in trouble here. He's killing SCVs, that is true. But can he survive? Can he live? Ooh, takes down the pylon, G-powers the shield battery. Tanks are moving forward. ReBellion's up against the wall here. He has potential with the Reaver shot. He has potential with that Scarab. Ooh. As more Dragoons going to be going down. Tanks are getting within range here of the Nexus. And we're just rushing with bunkers. At the same time, denying mining across the map. 18 SCVs go down. Oh my god. That's a lot of SCV kills. 18 SCVs do fall, but the Nexus will crumble. Another Reaver has arrived. Going for the SCVs here at the natural as well. Okay. Oh. Reaver shot goes off. Banshees, they go for the dive. They take down one of the Reavers. Reaver goes down. Dragoons, they try to break out, but the tank shields. Oh my god. The tank boys are too much. And Dragoons, they're falling one after the other. The army crumbles. And HonMonO, he breaks through. He breaks through the natural, breaks through the defensive line of units. There's nothing to defend. The Artosis pylon, no! It depowers everything. No more production. And HonMonO, he has done it. He has done it. There's one Dragoon being made at a time. GG gets called, and HonMonO fights back. He puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played, HonMonO. He does look to tie things up here. And again, a very cheeky build. Again, Banshees, they're just so difficult to deal with. I want to say that Banshee, like, especially a commitment into Mass Banshee like that, should probably force a Stargate response into Corsair. Like, it just feels so difficult for Dragoons to keep up with them. Even with detection, just feels so difficult. It wasn't really the Banshees, though, that were the nail in the coffin, though. It was the tank push. It was the commitment across the map. Unfortunately, we saw that ReBellioN, he didn't scout the move out. Part of that is because of the Observer. Remember, the Observer was at home. The Observer typically would be across the map to scout a move out, to get eyes on any kind of push, a push that never was seen. And because of that, he was not able to really engage ahead of time. If ReBellioN was aware of the move out, then he could meet it in the center of the map, try to force a siege, pick off some units and get some Reaver shots off as well, and slow down the army before it gets on top of the natural. Once the army sieges at the natural, that's almost game then and there. It's almost game then and there. With that, GG, well played. HonMonO does fight back, and now we are jumping into our next game. We're going to be loading into Monty Hall. Let's go. A pseudo island map. Oh, I missed them, Pappy. I missed them. Let's go. So we are jumping in. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Monty Hall, we have the blue Protoss player of the blue Protoss, the SE2 Protoss from South Korea, leading the series 2-1. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player himself from South Korea, representing Team Hyper 1, fighting back, putting a point on the board. It is HonMonO. Oh my god, as we are moving up with the boys. The SCVs are being sent across the map as we speak. Now, bearing in mind that this is a pseudo-island map, what I mean by that, you're locked in. You're locked in by these mineral walls, which is why we have boys across the map to mine through these minerals and to break into the main base. And ReBellioN, does he notice what's going on? As the SCVs, they are soon to arrive. And our goal here should be to proxy racks. And mining through the minerals, he gains access to the main. Raxes are going to be thrown down. And more importantly, they're barely out of range of the base of ReBellioN. Oh, DZ! Oh no, he sees! He does see, just barely does spot it. Oh, forces a mass cancellation. And just like that, ReBellioN, he shuts down the proxy, and HonMonO, he has to go back home. Oh my god. ReBellioN, he sees, he spots, he denies, and with that, ReBellioN has a massive lead. HonMonO, CC first. To catch up, CC first here for HonMonO. Is going to be delayed, does lose a bunch of resources, lost mine time as well. A rough start for HonMonO. It was a cheeky move, don't get me wrong, it was cheeky, but unfortunately, was found out. was found out here. ReBellioN confirms he gets eyes on the CC. Now he knows that HonMonO, he's not going for a one base all in. Now ReBellioN confirms HonMonO is transitioning into the mid game or into a two base economy. So how does ReBellioN respond here? Robe's going to be sent back. That is a Twilight Council before expanding. Uh-oh. Wait. What's going on? We're proxying. Yeah, we're proxying. Okay, so a couple things here. First things first. With that failed proxy, this build here from HonMonO is late. It's a late CC, it's a late Rax. Everything has been delayed here, so it's a really disrupted start for the Terran player. And to take advantage of that, we're not expanding. ReBellioN, he is setting up here. I mean, it looks like he will take that natural base. He will take the Nexus, but is setting up for a proxy. Twilight Council first into Blink or Charge, or are we going for a Dark Shrine? What's the plan? What is the plan here? As there we go, Blink is on the way. He's got a second gate back at home. And setting up a proxy third gateway. Okay. So is setting up that proxy. Now, bearing in mind, the way that these mineral walls will work is you can mine through the mineral patch initially, and a worker can move through this gold mineral patch, but a unit cannot. Like a Marine, a Zergling, a Zealot, they're too big to fit through that gap. You have to mine through the minerals and open up the wall, which is what, of course, HonMonO is doing here towards the top side, towards that northern lane. Towards the south here, we have a full wall, but Blink Stalkers, they don't care about your wall. They can blink over the wall, they can dive into the main base. So HonMonO, he's going to be vulnerable to these Blink Stalkers. He is going to be vulnerable. Scan does reveal the gateways, does reveal the tech as well. 3 gates at home, 1 across the map. It's going to be 4 gate Blink. 4 gate Blink Stalkers. Now, upon seeing this, this should be in the back of HonMonO's mind. Maybe not the proxy, but the fact that there are going to be Blink Stalkers coming. And as a result, okay, we have tank production. Tanks are on the way. We have the machine shop as well. We need siege mode as soon as possible. HonMonO, he will check the southern location. Oh, spot the Stalkers. Okay, now he knows. Now he's somewhat more aware. Marines, they rotate. We need a bunker. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Siege mode is being researched. A bunker would be ideal. He's getting in position. Blink is done. And Stalkers are warping in. Oh, speaking of, do more fin. That happens up with the tank, and the tank is going to be targeted down. Yeah, it's not going to be saved. Marines going to be falling. Maybe there's no stim. Yeah, no stim on these Marines. Nice control. Blinks away. Saves a weakened Stalker. And we're now down to 0 tanks. 0 tanks here for HonMonO. Picks off 2 more Marines. Ooh, gets a third. Tank has arrived. Stalkers, they blink over the wall. Ooh, bold move here with the Stalkers. They're going to be locked in. And they are locked in despite that SUs are falling. Aggressive blink. Dives on the tank. Brings it down once again. And that's going to be too much. It's going to be too much. There's only 2 Marines left. Stim is not even halfway done. And ReBellioN, remember, he can reinforce warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. He's got that natural base up and running as well. He has an economy. Blinks over the wall. And he's came with the production. And he just came with the production at this point, taking down 11 SCVs and counting. He's not done. He's not stopping. The medics are here to help support. Oof. Doing what they can. Tank does siege. Tank goes down, gets 1 volley off. Just the 1. And ReBellioN, he punishes the failed proxy. And again, HonMonO, he started with the proxy 3 racks. It just crumbled. It fell on its face. And HonMonO, he just could not recover. Barely could not. It was close. He did scouts. He had a tank on the way. He had siege mode on the way, but never got his tank up and running. Never stabilized in the main. Marines doing what they can. There's going to be 26 SCV kills. Can we get up to 30? Ah, we can. We can and we will. 31 SCV kills. Picks off Marines, blinks over the wall, going for the tank once again, gets 1 shot up. Yeah, just the 1 shot. And with that, ReBellioN, he overwhelms. He overwhelms a GG. And ReBellioN, he will take a further lead in this best of 7. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ReBellioN up 3-1, one game away from claiming this best of 7. And again, HonMonO, he was being cheeky, he was being hyper aggressive with that proxy, but Elastigo completely shut down, and with that, ReBellioN, he did snowball out of control. And we'll see if this story ends here on our next map. We're going to be loading into I almost said Neon Violet Square. Neo Isles of Siren. Let's go. Let us go. Now, if you've been watching StarCraft Evolution, you would know what this map is. If not, you're in for a treat. Welcome to a proper island map. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Isles of Siren, we have the... Oh, should fix up the names. We have the Red Terran player. We have the Red Terran, the Brood War Terran, representing Team Hydra 1 from South Korea. Down in the series of pressure zone, he has to fight back here and now to have a chance at the ace match. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the SE2 Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss leading the series 3-1 and needs almost one more game to claim the series. It is ReBellioN. Here we go. And un momento, I'll set up the names. I'll get them ready for you. Man, beautiful. Okay, here we go. And welcome one and all to a proper island map. What do I mean by that? If you haven't seen this map before, you're in for a treat. We have what? We have our natural, we have a third base, and we have a fourth base, which is a little bit more isolated. You can see here, you have to go around the edge of your own island to get to the fourth. But outside of that, that's what you have. You have 4 bases on your island. You are cut off here by this river that does cut across the entire map, that does cut off the entire map into 4 quadrants: top right, bottom left, and top left. And it isn't just an island map, it's a 4-player map as well. There are 4 possible spawn locations, so you do not know where exactly your opponent is. There is a 5th island in the center. There's a 5th island in the center, of course, that has a lot of gas, minerals, resources are available here. We have seen this island used to actually lay siege upon the 4th. As you can see here, this 4th base, or the 4th bases of every island, is quite close here to the center expansion. Because of that, you can set up on the other side and you can actually lay siege upon the opposing islands as well. Because these rivers are so thin, it does mean you can actually support your army from another island. So that's another important thing, whether it's with like Tempest or Broodlords or Guardians or tanks. Like, because of how thin these rivers are, like, you can actually support and you can actually fight from island to island in a sense. Which I feel like is a really nice feature. It's a really nice feature. Regardless, CC first. Typically it's Hyper Greed. Ooh, CC first into Bio, into Mass Marine. This I was not expecting. Usually we see kind of like mech-based compositions or Mass Greed like we're seeing here. Like, this is Gate Expand. Sorry, Gate Double Expand. Like, mate, because you're on an island, it's all about greed. You can expand to your heart's content early on. You have to be careful though, there are rushes, true. Like, you can go like 1 base, 1-1-1, Mass Banshee, right? It's like if we were like SE2 Terran, you can go proxy Starports and go into like proxy Void Ray or Oracles. It's risky though because you don't really know where your opponent is. I do like this though, Sentry first. From ReBellioN, Sentry first into Stargate. Again, Stargate play makes plenty of sense to harass, to get economic damage, and to rush into Skytoss. With that Sentry though, we can scout ahead of time. You can see HonMonO setting up scouting depots. Going into mech. Okay, kind of. So 3 racks opener into stim with factory support. Interesting. Here comes that hallucination. 2 hallucinations. Top left and bottom right. Again, with NG overcharge, you can't afford this. He scans! I mean, he sees the hallucination. He does see the hallucination. He scans as a response. So HonMonO knows where ReBellioN is. ReBellioN knows where HonMonO is. Now, HonMonO, with that scan, he does support the Stargate. ReBellioN, meanwhile, does confirm the bio into a more tank-heavy composition, or I should say mech support, with that double factory. We have siege mode on the way, so HonMonO, he's going to be building up his tanks. And we are opening up Phoenix. Interesting. Okay, Phoenixes as a response. As you can see here, alongside these bases, I mean, we have high yield gases as well. Like, mate, the The amount of resources you can get early on is crazy. With high yield gases, with all the free bases. In general, coming into this kind of game state, I do favor our purple. I should do favor SC2 Protoss just because Protoss is so much more mobile. We mentioned this before in regards to Brutal Protoss, how immobile it is, but here we have more prisms to reinforce across the map. We have recoil potential as well. Oh, Scan does get eyes on the setup. I think this is a Brutal map. Yes. Maps like Citadel, likewise Monty Hall, and even near Isles of Siren, they are not fresh new maps, they are all ported maps from Brood War. So every Brutal map that you've seen so far in this show match, they are ported over from Brood War themselves. I should say every non-ladder map that you've seen. So Troy is another one, Troy, near Isles of Siren, Sylphid. They are all Brutal maps ported over. With all the Brood War features as well. You know what, you see HonMonO skirting around the edge, going for his own drop. Likewise, we have a +1 on the way. We have a gateway explosion getting to charge. That I was not expecting. Okay. That's a lot of gateways. I mean, here comes that War Prism, and again, with the Prism, I assume it would be harassing across the map. Never mind, we load up, and we are looking to expand. We're looking to take it top left. So ReBellioN rushing to another expansion. Dropship comes in. Ooh, when they do miss each other, just barely. The drops, they do pass by each other. Expansion now on the way. And HonMonO, he does sneak in. Does sneak in with those Marines. Remember, he has Sim. Behind this, Goliath production has begun. Yo, Goliaths, they're pretty cracked. Like, they're pretty insane. I mean, Goliaths, they've been nerfed quite a lot recently, just because they're so good. As Marines, they do Sim in. They shut down the mineral line. 5, 6, 9, up to 10 per. Oh my god! 9 workers go down. The sentries get targeted as well. Very nice damage, and the charge is revealed. So very successful drop there from HonMonO. Does get away with the medevac or with the dropship. Does pull out. And behind this we have the fleet beacon on the way. Now, based on the ground upgrades, based on the mass gateways, the fleet beacon in a vacuum I would assume Skytoss, but that's not happening here. I'm imagining Mothership. I'm imagining Mothership here for a mass recall. And the Scan does get eyes on the ground-based composition, on the double forge, on the charge, of course, as well. HonMonO, he's pieces all together. He's throwing down a ring of turrets. Yeah, throwing down a massive ring of turrets here. In between their islands. Is walling up. Building up his Goliaths. Building up more Valkyries. Going for another drop. Is spotted by the Observer. Oh, who's spot 2? Yeah, this turret actually gave detection. Observer gets shut down. Phoenix respond. There's the Mothership. Mothership's on the way. And behind this, we are lacking side defense towards the left-hand side. We are pretty well fortified here, though. Like, mate, HonMonO, he's ready for a frontal assault. He's prepared. Another starport on the way. Into more Valkyries. And the Mothership, it's coming. HonMonO once again dropping over the wall. These Marines, they look more beefy. Getting another Observer. Another Observer goes down. Prism skirting around the left-hand side. Prism does head over for a flank. Scanner reveals nothing being built here from the Stargates. So again, HonMonO piecing it all together. Getting to double armory upgrades as well. But he does have a massive blind spot here, is the problem. Like this fourth base area and this entire section of this island. And that's where he's coming. Yeah, he's coming from the left-hand side. You know, he has the prism, he has the mothership, he has the recall. And HonMonO. The pants are down, Papi, completely. Oh, no. And now we throw down the turrets. Now he's setting up. But the mothership is here. The mothership has arrived. HonMonO, now he spots this. He has time. He has time to respond. There we go. He does respond. Rallies everything over. But again, is out of position. There's the recall. Oof. Recalls onto the island. ReBellioN is here. HonMonO trying to make a stand, repositioning his tanks. Does reposition. And again, a lot of this army is anti-air based, not anti-ground. Oh my god, the Phoenixes died to splash damage. The Phoenixes, they just go down. Phoenixes and, oh, the mothership almost. Valkyries, they fall back. But again, HonMonO, he saw the gateways, he saw the charge, he saw the double forge. Despite that, does take down the mothership. What about the charge shot Archon? What about the ground army? As we are lacking tanks. There's a tank in the back line. ReBellioN does head for the mineral line instead, getting on top of the production. HonMonO does him in. Oh my god, does him forward. Brutal storm though. Yeah, the storm does shut down the fire. Tanks are moving forward, Zelda get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. We get reinforcements out from behind. We get a full surround. And Goliaths are falling. Tanks as well. The prism survived. Oh my god. I said the prism survived. We have a proxy gateway even. We have a proxy nexus, I should say. Nexus with the pylon. The main base is going to go down. And again, there was just a massive blind spot here for HonMonO. That just was not accounted for. That you wouldn't have to account for, depending on what race you're playing against. But there it is. Oh, it does recall in. He recalls onto the island once again. This time with a Nexus recall. Oh, the recalls. ReBellioN checks for the fourth base. There is none. There is no fourth. Trading with the army, collapsing in. Forcing friendly fire. I mean, the tank line is still solid, but the support here for the tanks it's not really there. ReBellioN, he does reinforce. And blinking on forward. Not going to be pretty. Takes down the tanks though. 2, 3, 4 tanks is out in the storm. Oh my god, he stands in the storms. And with that, ReBellioN, he breaks through. He breaks through. GG gets called. And ReBellioN will claim the series 4-1, claiming the show match. GG. GG, well played. Again, the SC2 races, especially on these island maps, they can be favored, whether it comes to recalls, when it comes to doom drops as well, with Medvex boosting in, likewise Nidus worms. Like, there are a lot of things that you do have to consider when playing on an island map like this. And again, HonMonO, he was pretty well fortified, defending the top side, the northern side of his island, but again, towards the left-hand side, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. To be fair, HonMonO, he did think about it towards the end. Remember, he was setting up those turrets afterwards, but that was after. You know, that was far later and far too late to deny the mothership and to give him the time he needed to set up a defense. With that, ReBellioN did slip in, and with that, GG. GG will play ReBellioN. He will claim the series, and he will, yeah, claim the best of 7. Congratulations. Congratulations to ReBellioN. A shout out to HonMonO for making a series out of this. Of course, it was not a 4-0, did fight back, and mate, even game 1 was a banger. I feel like game 1 was almost the highlight of the series, getting like maxed out armies, mech versus Brood War Protoss as well. And again, HonMonO, he was playing so well throughout that entire game. He was actually, I would say, just out trading and outperforming ReBellioN for most of that game until the very end, where we saw ReBellioN pop off with a mass stasis field. If you missed out, if you tuned in a little bit later, if you missed out on the first game, I recommend it. I do recommend it here. Check out the VODs because game 1 was a banger. Game 1 was crazy, and I would say was, yeah, I mean, After that, we had more aggressive builds and more proxies, so shorter games afterwards, but game 1 really really kind of like set the stage here for the series, and was a great way to introduce the best of 7 as well. GG, well played. Do recommend it. Otherwise with that, congratulations to ReBellioN, shout out to HonMonO, and with that, that does wrap up our StarCraft Evolution show match. Again, despite the best of 7, it lasted 2 hours. Not bad, not bad. Did last 2 hours here. That is our only broadcast for today in a sense. We do have some more coverage later on tonight. Let's quickly hop on over here to our schedule. Bam. There we go. We have our weekly schedule here. Today we are here Thursday morning, 9 a.m. KST. We just wrapped up with ReBellioN versus HonMonO. Later on tonight at 7 p.m. KST, we have the Pondcast. The Pondcast, that is our weekly talk show where we go over all the week's results and all the week's news in SC2. So there's plenty to indulge in, plenty to go over during the Pondcast. We're probably going to be talking about ESL's tournament sites going down, potentially talking about Lambo. He recently made a video talking about his own experiences with the current state of play in online tournaments in regards to the mass amount of Protoss, the lack of Zerg, and his lack of motivation competing and playing in the Open Cup, so we can discuss that. Likewise, Eon Blue had an interview. He had a GLHF interview with Zombie Grub at Home Story Cup that was released a couple of days ago. We'll be discussing that as well. So there's a lot to go over when it comes to the podcast, alongside regular tournament results as well. So we're going to be discussing that later tonight. Tomorrow we have the OC Season 12 Championship, we have a Little League Cup, we have Amanthus, SDO, more OC, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we have King of the Hill as well. So plenty of events over the weekend. Our weekends are always very busy. As you can see here, we're live multiple times a day, every single day, except for Wednesdays. You know, again, our new initiative here, our new resolution, my New Year's resolution, is to have half a day off a week. So that's what Wednesday is. Half a day off. Only the morning cast, no evening cast on Wednesday. So it would be nice if we had some time to do other things. So half a day off a week, let's go. Otherwise, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft, plenty of content coming at you. We are not done here though, as I do have some viewer replays. For those that are curious, if you're in the chat, you do accumulate points or channel points, of course, by watching, by gambling as well, by predicting, and we do have a point redemption to actually allow us to cast your replays. So shout out to Soundo did redeem a viewer replay, and we'll be going over that here today. It is not your typical viewer replay though, it is a 4v4, which can get very chaotic. So I will be getting into that. Basically, the stream is going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break, and then we'll be jumping into our viewer replay cast, and then we'll be wrapping up. So if you're only here for pro gameplay, I mean, we just wrapped up with our show match. We'll be coming back with some more viewer submitted replays instead. So stick around if you want to tune in. Again, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. It usually is whenever they're redeemed. Usually some just clownery or otherwise, usually clownery when it comes to Sounder. We'll get there. So we're going to be going in a short break, and when we come back, we'll have that replay cast. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You can follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon as well, as our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments like like Sparkling Tuna Cup, tournaments like Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. It is all done via Patreon. So thank you so much to all of our patrons. Thank you so much for all the support. Again, we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll have one more cast for you. See you soon after the break. I think Santa just wants to see if your PC can handle it more than anything. I mean, my PC is a beast right now. I don't know if you tuned in. A couple of days ago, we casted 8-player FFAs, and we had 8 players with maxed out armies, like crashing in, and mate, frames did not drop here. We were able to broadcast live. They did drop for the players though. We had multiple players like complain about like playing on like 1 or 2 FPS. Like they could not handle it. they could not handle it. We could, the Ducklings, we can handle it, we can handle it. But now that we're gonna go on a break. We're gonna go on a break, and we'll be back soon. We'll be back soon. See you in a couple of minutes. Oh. and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, so something a little bit special here. Welcome back to a viewer replay cast. Again, we do have a avenue here for viewers to redeem their replays, so we can cover them and we can cast them here on the channel, and we have one viewer replay ready for you here. We have a replay redeemed by Sounder in the chat, and it is going to be a 4v4 Team Sounder versus Team Ladder. I don't know what I'm getting into. Not just featuring Sounder, featuring Jadoff as well, who's also a longtime supporter and patron of the channel as well. So big shout to Jadoff. He is a mech enjoyer though, so we judge a little bit. We Este Jadoff, aye. The mech enjoyer himself. But they're going to be going up against what looks to be a Latin American team. Okay, specifically Peruvian, as I do see two Peruvian players here. Interesting. At least two, maybe more. So here we go. We're going to be jumping into our 4v4. It is also titled To the Moon. What does that mean? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. Let's go. Let us go. Would you cast a viewer replay from 5.0.13? Sure. You can redeem. That's all good. It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. As here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Moorhammon. Gee, I've never seen this map before, I'll be honest. We have our initial viewer team. Here we go. We have here in the top right-hand corner, we have our 4-player team consisting of Jadoff, consisting of Sounder, consisting of Wagon Mafia, as well as Abba as well. We have our red team, and in the bottom left-hand corner we have our blue team. We have for team super team, I should say, we have the Peruvian Protoss player Scale alongside his teammate. We have Alejandro, also from team Unidos por el Vicio. So we have two Peruvian players, and we also have Amateur Amateur Spanish as well as Terran Dadass. Beautiful. Let's go blue team. We have red team, we have a blue team. Here we go. Do I know what I'm stepping into? God, no. No idea. Let's go. Okay. So, I'll be honest, I haven't casted too much of Jadoff when it comes to team games, but I played plenty against him in 1v1. So he is, again, the mech apologist, if you will. So I'm expecting mech out of Jadoff. Likewise, I believe Abba we've casted on the channel before. He does often play Mass Muta. Meanwhile, we have Wagon Mafia, who I've never casted, and we have Sounder, who often does go like whatever he is, like Charge Arc on that. It's a sky toss, man. It's a sky toss. But what I'm more interested in here is the map itself, Moorheim, or Moorhammon. I don't think I've ever cast. Is this new? Is this a new ladder map? To be fair, I haven't played 4v4 in a long time, but I do know that the team game map pool was revamped last year. So I know we got a bunch of new 2v2 maps, a bunch of new 3v3 maps, and I assume a bunch of new 4v4 maps as well, as this is a huge map. Like, Jesus, it's massive. There's a lot of base to be taken, of course, so we can get up to a 4-base economy on each side from both blue and red teams. We have a lot of choke points in the center as well, so because of that, I can see a world where we can split the map in half, 100%. There are other more unorthodox 4-player maps, but here, like, it does seem a little bit more clear here that you can just, like, wall up and wall off and max out. Curious. I'm curious. Never mind, it's from 5.0.12. I don't know if it's going to work. Yeah, I was going to say that if I recall correctly, I believe, depending on the patch, some StarCraft Evolution replays don't work, or I should say I'd have to jump through a lot of hoops to make them work. But if you have something more recent, then sure, I'd be willing to cast. It's all good. If you have something fun that's more recent, I'd be willing. Otherwise, you can just save it until you do get something that you want to show off. Like maybe another 12 full against HonMonO. Yo, if you get if we got like a 12 pool drone pool versus HonMonO, then I'd be willing to cast. Yeah, let's go. So now we're settling in. Here at the top right, we do have, so far, as we try to catch up here, standard openers from our Zerg players. Hatch, Gas, Pool, we're joining up. All the gases are being taken. As we mentioned in the lead up to this, Abba is known for playing 2-base Muta. This feels like we're setting up for 2-base Muta with all these gases. Likewise, Jadolf here is going into a 1-1-1 setup. Likewise, from Sounder, we have Stargate opener into Fleet Beacon, what looks to be into a Carrier Rush or Tempest Rush into Skytoss. Yep, there we go. Another Stargate's on the way, so we are embracing Skytoss. On the other side, our opposing team that we haven't seen too much of here, we have Bio from our Terran player, so it is going to be Stim Marines into Bio. Meanwhile, we also have Bio here out of Alejandro as well, setting up a second Rax into Stim, so 2 players playing Bio. Oh, Azling Rabbi does come in, and there's nothing to defend here. The Protoss is caught with their pants down. Probe's going to be going down already. The Terran army does respond. That's already brutal damage. Meanwhile, we do see, oh, right, 3 Terrans. 2 Terrans playing Bio, and the 3rd Terran amateur here is going into Mech, into Mass BC specifically. 2-port BC here from our blue Terran player, and our Protoss here is going into Ground Toss for the time being. So we are setting up. So far, good damage dealt here by our Zerg player, by Wagon Mafia. And he's still link flooding, by the way. He's still link flooding. Still moving in. The army has abandoned this position. The Marines, they race over. I mean, this shows how large the map is. And the tank gets caught out. The Siphon gets caught out as well. Wagon Mafia is going to be popping up, shutting down the army. And from here, can head towards that mineral line. Nice SimCity, though, protecting that cannon. Cannon is protected. Marines do respond. They will defend. Lings, they do hit the northern base. And so far, Wagon Mafia just mass harass is doing well for himself. Meanwhile, we have BC also on the way from our Bio Terran player. Fusion Core here for BC. So, oh, actually, okay. So 2 of the Terran players are going BC. The center player is going Mech. Wait, what? Interesting. Open up 2 racks, then into Double Factory, into what looks to be Mech in the aftermath. So a bit of an amalgamation here, but in the end, all roads lead to Rome, and we are kind of headed towards a more Mech style from 3 Terrans, I should say. Meanwhile, we assumed Abba was going into 2-base Muta, but alas, I believe there's no Spire yet. So I'm just trying to, there we go. Yeah, no Spire yet, no Lair yet either. I think he's just feeding. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Sounder, I believe, has just, he has 3 bases, but I believe he's feeding his teammates here. As there's no tech, there's nothing here out of Abba. The BCs that do teleport in. And no surprise, Jadolf, yeah. Going Mech as well, going BC. Speaking of BCs that hit both bases, oh my god! Yeah, Drone's getting caught out, Abba is getting caught out himself, Workers going down. Probes are falling. Likewise, Sounder also in trouble here. The Master Rass doing well. No, Abba! There's no escape. Get out of here. Drones, they run away from the Bio to run into BCs. As Jadolf, he is going to respond. Now, bearing in mind, these BCs, they teleported in, which means they cannot teleport away. It's going to be a one-way trip. And they're going to be shut down. Oh, we get the Yamato. Ooh, he gets 1 BC. 1 for 2. Not the worst trade. Not the worst. As the army is cleaned up, Abba can go back to feeding. Likewise, we still have Ling Hydra out of Wagon Mafia, as he will lose the expansion. Oh, that's so many dead workers here. That was what, 13, sorry, that was 17 dead drones in total alongside 12 probes. A lot of economic damage. Jesus, but now we know who Abba was feeding. Abba has been feeding Jadolf. Yeah, Jadolf, he's on a 2-base economy, but really it's a 4-base economy. Thanks to his teammate going mass BC. He's got 5 starports. That's crazy. So it's being fed. Now, can the 1 BC player go up against 2 BC players? That's the question. That is the question here. We do see our Protoss going into ground-based composition, into Gateway Army, into Colossus. I don't really know how effective that's going to be. Like, typically when it comes to team games here, like Skytoss and Mech, they reign supreme. Like, that's kind of what you want. Blue Terran running into Jadolf. BCs, they teleport across the map. More drones going down. They force a response out of Jadolf as well. They do force the teleport. Sounder moving in. He's got some BC support. At this point, we could also be sharing control, and you can kind of like control your teammates' units. So we can control and move everything together here. Soundo is moving in. And there's barely any anti-air here. There's a couple of Stalkers. Stalkers are going to be shut down. And where's the support? We need the Terrans. Nah. Yeah, the Protoss player here just being ganged up on one. He cannot defend on his own. Cannot hold. Vikings, they move in. They try to at least. But the mass carrier BC snowballing out control here. Top left. Jadolf did defend. Almost said Sounder. Jadolf did defend. The carriers are moving forward. So far, 2 bases falling, and we can just keep going. Now, there is a ring of turrets, true. So breaking this position is going to be much more difficult. As BCs head towards the bases of Jadolf. Oh, they force a defensive warp in. A defensive teleport. Mana's going up. Jadolf, he will defend. Likewise, Link Hydra coming in, denying an expansion. Nicely done here by Mafia. By Wagon. There's Wagon, he denies 2 CCs. Jadolf defends, and how many BCs does Jadolf have? He's up to 9. 9 against 7. Okay, the BC count is very close. 9 versus 7, alongside potential other BCs from other players. So blue team, they're keeping up with the BC counts. I would say that again, like, the ground toss player here is struggling to really support everyone else. I mean, did lose 2 bases, to be fair. But it doesn't feel like the ground toss army is going to be too applicable. There's 1 Colossus. That's all there is. 1 Colossus. Link Hydra running into the mech. Another best trade here from Wagon. So the armies do move out. Now the BCs are split. Bear that in mind. They're not working in unison. Uh-oh. He has to pull away. Yamato's going to be going up. So far, it looks like, can we get any carriers? We cannot. Carriers, they survive. Likewise, BCs of Jadolf, they do reign supreme here towards the top side. There are Thors to help support. True. Thors are going to be a factor. Yo, the Dark Templar. Scale, he's waddling in. Let's head for the mineral lines. No spores. Oh, considering the BC harass earlier, we should expect them here, but no spore at this expansion. Base is going to go down. Drones as well. Forces a response, a reaction. Get a fungal. BCs, they blink away. Oh no! They run into the turret. The hand of waddling in. Oh, they're 2 players. Okay, okay. We got a hand throw with the Thors. Amathoreso moving forward. Forces teleport away. Yamato's coming in. Oof. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3 carriers. Yeah, brutal losses and the carriers are going down. We need some support here. As more Yamatos connect. At the same time, Jadolf pushing forward. Breaks through the Thor line. Yeah, we have Hydras and Infestors to support as well. And Jadolf is going to roll over this army. Across the map, looks like the carriers are barely holding on as well. But what's important is here. What's important? Oh, nice wind effect. What's important though is Jadolf's army as it does push through. Breaks through the defensive line. And there are barely any BCs remaining. Oh, yo, the Neural, let's go. It's the 1 unit for the Protoss. Look at that. Oh, no. The Colossus goes down. And how many BCs do we have left? There's 9. 9 BCs remaining. Looks like they teleported back home, but there's just not enough here. And with that, we break through the main army. We have our Link Hydra flooding in as well. Unfortunately here, Scale just wasn't quite able to do too much this game. Again, after losing those bases, like, he just could not recover. Could not really amass an army. So it was more of a 3v4. I mean, I guess it was a 3v3 the entire time, because, like, hey, Abba, he's making units for the first. Let's go. Can they attack? You have some Corruptors moving out. Yo. The 9 BCs. Can we hold on? Crouchers, they will fight. They can help support. Oh my god. Yamato's just shuts in the carriers. Yeah, Sounder, he will lose all those carriers here. Ruptures as well. But at the end of the day, what matters here is that we have, you know, our Zerg and Terran armies just breaking through the rest of these bases. Oh my god. There. What's happening? What's going on? Are they stacking on each other and it's just like breaking? Like what's or just in that location? I guess so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh. You can see here on the map, there's like a glitch where it looks like there's like high terrain. So the camera here, bam, it just shoots up. Jesus. So there's like an invisible cliff at GG. 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 Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before, but you can see like as I pan the camera over, bam, like we just shoot up in the air. It's like a little invisible like cliff face here that I guess units can interact with as well. Oh, there you go. Found a glitch. Like I don't think this is intentional, by the way. Believe that shouldn't be intentional, because potentially a unit on this location here wouldn't be able to be attacked from a unit on the low ground without vision. I wonder like if that's how it works. Like what I'm picturing here, imagine a ladder game and you get a Liberator right here. You siege up a Liberator on this position, and because it's got like so many points of elevation, like it's just free damage. Without a scan, of course. Like without a scan, without like another air unit that also goes up there. Like I wonder if that's how it works. If so, that's like a problem that should be fixed. But because I don't think that's insane. Wait, is it also up here? No. So you can see here that there's no, the barrier isn't top right, just bottom left. There you go. Just a little borked, yeah, just a little bit. So the map is a little bit broken, but now we know. GG. GG. We're gonna try to put a building up there. I would say a Liberator. I'd say try to put a Liberator up there to see how that unit interaction works. Because I believe units won't be able to attack it without high ground vision as well. Finesse will be required to siege up the lib, but GG. GG, well played. Now we know. Yes, we'll see. Oh, GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Shout out to Team Sound, of course, for breaking through, for overwhelming. Well played. Well played, Pappy, well played. And with that, we're wrapping up here for the night. We have found a broken location on a 4-player map, Morheim. Beautiful. Or Morheimen. And yeah, with that, we're wrapping up. We just, of course, broadcasted our best of 7 show match. We just wrapped up with our viewer replays as well. And with that, we are now going to be getting ready for our evening broadcast later on in the night. Scrolling on over, again, just a reminder, we are going to be live with the podcast at 7 p.m. KST. I do need to catch up with some of the reading material, specifically with the GLHF Eon Blue interview, so I will be going over that in the interim. But otherwise, is it time to ladder? Is it time to ladder here? A short ladder session. Again, just because we have a broadcast later on tonight, that is going to be in how many hours time? That's going to be in 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live with the podcast. So we have a couple of hours available to us to have a cheeky ladder session. Now, we were live for the first time in a long time last night, also streaming and laddering on my own personal channel. It was a rough ladder session. It was a rough ladder session, but again, we expected it. Like, again, we're very rusty right now. We've barely laddered this year. Like, we just haven't had the time. We've been casting so much StarCraft. I just haven't had the time to ladder. But I'll be changing that. I do enjoy laddering, so do want to hit that ladder. Do want to try to shake off all the rust to improve and to get back to where we once were. Let's go. Let us go. So that is the plan. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Do appreciate it. We're going to be heading off for the time being. And again, I'm going to be going live over on my own personal channel instead. No casting, just a cheeky ladder session, maybe for like 2 hours, like 3 at most. 3 hours at most, because I do have to catch up on some of those interviews and on what's been going on. So a short ladder session. If you're interested, you can tune in. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Check us out on all the social medias. Check us out on Patreon. And we'll see you guys later on tonight for the podcast, or tomorrow for OSC Season 12 Championship. As you can see, we're live every single day. We have plenty of content on the channel and plenty for you to enjoy. See you next time. See you next time, papi. Ciao, ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.